Hello to all UMSL commuter students. In this video, we're going to be going over 5 common misconceptions about Metro STL and public transportation in general. I've conducted independent research as well as interviewed several local commuter students, so I have a pretty good grasp on the concerns of the student body with regards to commuting to and from the UMSL campus. The first fairly common misconception I heard in student interviews was that public transportation is unsafe or it is ridden with crime. Especially here in St. Louis, crime is always a concern for those of us who interact with the city on a daily basis, but this fortunately does not necessarily extend to public transportation. According to data from the nonprofit National Safety Council, commuting by train is 17 times safer and commuting by bus is 50 times safer than driving yourself in a car. There are a number of reasons why, but accidents, motor vehicle theft, traffic stops, road rage, and parking lots are all factors that contribute to personal transport being more dangerous. In general, when crime does happen on public transport, it is less severe than when you are driving a car. The second common misconception is an underestimation of how much cheaper public transit is. I think most of us understand that public transportation is cheaper, but we already own our cars, and the benefits may outweigh the slight additional costs that driving brings. However, UMSL provides Metro STL passes to students for only $25 per semester. If you come to campus 4 times a week over a 16-week semester, that averages out to be 39 cents per day. Depending on how far away you live and what vehicle you commute with, you could be paying 10 times that or more for the premium of commuting yourself. The third common misconception is another underestimation, but this time an underestimation of just how much better using public transportation is for the environment. Transportation produces more greenhouse gas emissions than the agriculture, residential, and commercial sectors combined, and produces more than the individual sectors of electric power generation and industry. It is the largest sector by greenhouse gas emissions in the United States, and experts agree that the best way to fight it is by increasing your use of public transportation if you can. Even a little bit every now and then can make a big difference in your own carbon footprint. The fourth common misconception is the efficiency of the routes or the lack thereof. While we all live in different parts of the St. Louis metropolitan area, I think you'd be surprised at just how much of it can be serviced by Metro STL. The important thing to remember is that you shouldn't automatically assume that public transit doesn't cover your region. Check Metro STL's website to see if public transportation is an option for you. I personally thought that where I lived wasn't going to be serviced, but after checking, I found out that I was wrong. Be sure to find out for yourself before you make up your mind. The last and final misconception is convenience. First of all, the biggest part about this misconception is that people who don't use public transportation aren't always exactly accurate in their assumptions for how long it actually takes. The average American commuter in a small to medium-sized city takes 23 minutes to commute by car. That same American on the same commute takes only 33 minutes by public transit. Sometimes people assume that taking a bus may add an extra 40 minutes to their travel times, like I found in my interviews, but it is important to remember that it is a bus that travels at the same speed as a car with a few stops here and there. Second, while there are conveniences that a car offers, there are also conveniences that transit offers. Scroll on your phone, do homework, read a book, catch up on sleep. None of this can be done when you are driving. You have to stop and buy gas. In winter, you have to scrape your windshield and then slip around on the icy roads while you drive. For those of us who drive less maintained vehicles, we have to wonder if our cars will even get us to our destinations. So while cars can be convenient, so can buses and trains. Thank you for your attention. I hope you learned that public transportation has a lot of benefits for you as a commuter student. If you're interested in learning more about St. Louis's public transportation system, I encourage you to visit metrostlouis.org for more information.